Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me once again. My name is still Brian, this is still my channel, and today we are going to continue playing a little bit of high stakes trivia, and by high stakes I mean as high stakes as I can possibly get, with Majotori. So we did one episode of this before. Basically what happened was you answered as many trivia questions as you could. If you got enough right, for each one you did, you would get an extra, good outcome space on the wheel. If the wheel ended up landing on a good outcome, then you got a good outcome. And we had a bunch of stories we, kind of worked our way through. From the, list of achievements, it feels like there's still a lot left. I'm not sure if that's the case. If there are, or if different characters reuse stories or something like that, I'm not sure. But if there are new original stories, we will continue to play through those. But if we see a story that is repeated or comes up again, I might try to get the opposite outcome from what we got the first time, just so we can see a little bit of, I guess variance is the right word. We'll find out. So I'm 11-1 on this right now. Gonna go to Juliet. Juliet met a boy that day at a ball held by his family. That sounds familiar. A wonderful boy named Romeo. But he was from an enemy family. Her family had found out that he had sneaked into the ball and had threatened to kill him if they ever saw him again. But Juliet needed to see him again. She was in love. She went to the balcony and closed her eyes, wishing for Romeo to appear when she opened them again. When she did, instead of Romeo, a witch appeared. Witch offered a deal which Juliet accepted. Alright, so here we go. Really interesting start. Just straight up ripping off Shakespeare. But we know Jim Carrey was the main character of the Truman Show. Just want to double check. And as always, I have not, I guess, calibrated or set a certain number of different types of categories. So we get a lot of anime or video games that I don't know. That's just how it shakes out. It makes the wheel a little bit more interesting when I'm not getting everything right. I don't know, and speaking of anime, I don't know this one, but I'm gonna go with this one because it's the longest title and I feel like people wouldn't write long titles unless they had to. Nope, oh well. Alright. Thanos' goal. Well, I mean, it's, 2-2, so we only need half of those. Snap would eliminate half of the word 2 in that. But yeah, eradicate half of my life. Great movie. Probably my all-time favorite, if I'm being honest. Just amazing. Furthest south. I mean, it doesn't get much further south than Texas. And when it does, it's definitely not with any of these other states. Metal Gear Solid 3. Is that Sons of Liberty? Snake Eater, okay. Those all sound like Metal Gear Solid games, or at least the ones I know. Sons of Liberty might be 4, I'm not sure. Pirates of Silicon Valley. Oh! Interesting. Silicon Valley. I don't know this. They're not really based in Silicon Valley, I don't think. Are these guys? I'll go with them. Well. But I'm going to look up Pirates of Silicon Valley just so I have, I guess, a frame of reference. Silicon Valley, 1999. Visionaries Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, played by Noah Wiley and Anthony Michael Hall. Wow, that is a cast right there. Papers, Please. Oh, I've seen this. I haven't played it, but I think it's Arstotzka? Not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's vaguely Eastern European. Shrek transforms into just a good, not a female version of himself, a good-looking human version of himself. And job title there, FBI agents. Okay, so last time around, the first game we played, we had 6 good spots, 3 bad spots, but the wheel ended up on a bad spot and we got a bad ending. Let's see if that happens again. It will. Oh no, it won't. Shifted back. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. Juliet heard a sound coming from the bushes. It was Romeo sneaking into the garden. I love you, said Romeo. I love you too, said Juliet. Let's get married, proposed Romeo. Yes! Cool. Alright, so that was an interesting one. Much shorter than I remember reading Romeo and Juliet. Well, we just had Juliet, so let's go to Romeo now. Romeo had asked Juliet to marry him, but everyone knew their families were enemies. Who would be willing to marry them in secret? Friar Lawrence. Oh no. I know someone who would be, said a witch appearing out of nowhere. Let's make a deal. Alright, Mr. Incredible was super strength. I mean, he was super buff as well, so that makes sense. Not an Olympic sport. I don't think chess is. I think he might have used to be, but it's definitely not now. Oh my gosh. Main character accused of sexual assault. These are some serious animes. Let's go with the long one. Yay, long title worked out. Do you visit Jerusalem? This sounds very... Again, well, I played Modern Warfare. I don't remember it in that one at all. Between the others, I have not played any of them, but Assassin's Creed I know is the most middle-agey, and, you know, maybe there was like a crusade or something. Yeah, okay, good. In the anime, Erased. I mean, based on Erased, I'm gonna guess invisibility? Nope. Okay, time travel. I was thinking Erased like you erase yourself from people's vision or something. I think it's good logic. Ooh! First crime... I've never seen this movie. I feel like that's kind of an oversight and I probably should get around to it. They commit murder first. Wow. I really need to see that movie. Or at least know more about it, because I think I'm one of those people who's like, all they know is the ending. I know the ending and that Brad Pitt is in it. That's it. Oh gosh. I don't know this one either. At least this is good general knowledge. Like, this is not an anime type deal. Like, this is not some anime stuff that I don't need to know. Ah, well, let's do it that. Again, big oversight, should know that. Heavy Rain, I don't know this one either. We will say basic. Ah, Sean. The last one. Not a character in One Piece. Had no idea about any of those. Alright, this is gonna be interesting. Not in favor here. Doesn't look like it's gonna be good. Alright, let's see what happens. Was that one of the... I think that might be the, Incredibles one or the Futurama one that I missed? Oh well. Sorry, said Larry, and then she vanished. Even if that witch wasn't gonna help, Romeo had to at least try. He approached a friar who was in front of his family and explained the situation. I will not allow this union, furiously said the friar. I will tell your parents about your relationship at once. After that, Romeo and Juliet were forbidden to see each other ever again. I mean, that's kind of the basis of Romeo and Juliet, so it doesn't look like a lot changed. Tsubasa! If she could get one wish to come true right then, Tsubasa would wish for a pair of wings. A pair of white wings on her back so she could fly away like a bird. Without any more sadness. Whoa, wait a moment, said Lariat, grabbing Tsubasa's hand. Let's make a deal! Why is Hercules mortal? Ooh. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, and it's not a very good one, in my opinion. I know he gets kidnapped by Hades' lackeys at the beginnings. No, doesn't... Yeah, isn't there like some kind of formula that he sucks on? Yeah, okay, that is right. There isn't a character named Zack. I know there is in BioShock. I think there is in Borderlands. I'm gonna go Final Fantasy. Prince of the Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z. So the Prince. Oh no. Let's go Vegeta. Okay. I knew Goku, Yamcha, and Vegeta were all characters. Gohan probably is as well, but I knew Goku wasn't. Who plays Aragorn? So Elijah Wood was Frodo, Christopher Lee was Saruman, Sean Bean was Boromir, Viggo Mortensen was Aragorn. Not a race or species in Majora's Mask. I'm gonna say Goomba, because that's from Mario. I know that much. Which one of the... Gao, Arara, Nishishi, Ugu! I actually had no idea, it just was fun to say. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg? Oof. This sounds like some Nintendo nonsense. It was Nintendo or Sega. What is the ohm measure? That is electrical resistance. And lastly, the main character in Kimagure Orange Road. Kurumi Kyosuke Madoka. Okay, sure. I was between those two. Alright, so the odds are in our favor here. And they are enough in our favor where we will save, what's her face? Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. Tsubasa spread her wings and flew away towards a free and vast sky without any more sadness. Aw, good for her. Alright, who we got next? Mariano. Mariano was a big and strong guy. Not a very clever one, though. There was this girl he liked, but she was always reading books at the library. Mario didn't know how to approach her. He wished for her to get into a dangerous situation so he could save her. Oh no, that is not good. Admittedly, like, I've tried asking people out in person. I've tried apps. I've tried sliding into people's DMs. You know, saving you from a crisis, I guess, might not be the worst strategy. Maybe not the way I'd go about it, but I can't fault you for it. That would impress her, and he would have an excuse to talk to her. Maybe he could even offer to walk her home every day to protect her instead of following her in secret. Oh my god. This guy is so creepy. I want to make sure he loses, but I want to make sure he loses, but I want to stick with trying to win. So basically, whether we win or lose this one, I'm fine with it, but I'm still going to try to get questions right. I can place her in a dangerous situation, said a witch appearing out of nowhere. Hey girl, I need you to do me a big favor. Oh, this is awkward, said Lariat. I'm with someone else right now. Wait a minute, and I'll make your wish come true. Where were we? Oh yeah, something dangerous. Let's make a deal. There's a lot of dialogue in that one. Okay. In the animated series Archer, he is a spy. Sterling Archer. Again, another one I haven't seen. I do need to know. That's one you need to know, though. Rocky Balboa. Rocky Marciano. That would have been very similar movie, I guess. Rocky Marciano, I think the only heavyweight champion to go 49-0, something like that. Which of these animals can't you ride in the video game Donkey Kong Country? That doesn't sound... Sure. Never played Donkey Kong Country, as you can probably tell. Elephant... I don't know why you would be able to ride a swordfish in a jungle setting. Why can't the characters make noise? Because it attracts monsters, or aliens, or whatever you want to call them. Using what kind of fusion is Vegito created in the anime Dragon Ball Z? The Mechian fusion. Okay, it was 50-50. I figured it was one of the ones that said fusion. Alita Battle Angel. Motorball? Motorball. I knew it was one of the two. I recognized the names. Secret Identity, Bruce Wayne, and then we got Captain America, Iron Man, Superman, of course. Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Eggman. Once again, we're getting Jim Carrey popping up. By the way, I gotta say, Jim Carrey, you're probably not watching this right now, but seriously, kudos, because it feels like that's like the one kind of role that you actually willingly do right now. And I just like wildly respect your decision to be like, I'm going to take this role where I'm having fun and no other acting. I'm happy where I am. Good for you, Jim Carrey. What are the main characters in Rocky and Bullwinkle? They are a flying squirrel and a moose. And we're going to spin the wheel. So we have about a 2 in 3 shot of a quote-unquote good outcome. Let's see if we get one. Looks like it might, and we do. Congratulations, said Lariat, then she went to talk to that other girl. Mariano kept following the girl home, again in a completely normal and not creepy way. Suddenly, she began crossing the street without noticing a flurry of cyclists coming her way. This was his chance, and then they both got run over. Oh, he jumped onto the street and used his body to protect her, killing all the cyclists. Good for you, Mariano. He was really painful, but he endured it. It was really painful, but he endured it. Are you okay? He asked then. She was so impressed she didn't know what to say. Cool. Another Mariano story, but it doesn't look like the same one. Let's see what this creepy guy's getting up to now. Mariano connected with his girlfriend in more ways than he had imagined, but anime wasn't one of those. His girlfriend loved watching anime about cute girls living uninteresting lives, and he just couldn't understand it. Those shows were so boring. There was no plot. Nothing relevant ever happened. He wished he could understand their appeal. Leave her. She's not worth it, suggested Lariat. Again, you killed a bunch of cyclists for her. I think you should probably hear her out. They couldn't do that, so instead they made a deal. Here we go. What is the Mo scale? It's the Mo scale of hardness. And I'm going to try to remember right now what everyone is. 1 is talc, 2 is gypsum, 3 is calcite, 4 is fluorite, 5 is apatite, 6 I believe is orthoclase feldspar, 7 is quartz, 8 is topaz, 9 is corundum, so that's rubies and sapphires, and then 10 is diamond. I think I got all of them. Alright, moving on. We got to the movie Godfather. That is my old friend, Francis Ford Coppola, not Frank Capra. Right. Not an eligible team. I remember the craze around this. I still have trivia teammates that play it. I don't play it myself, but I know the original 3 are Valor, Instinct, and Mystic. Friendship is not a thing. What color is the hair of the main character? So I think that's Light Yagami, right? God, what is his hair color? I don't think it's an interesting color, is it? It's brown or purple? Yeah, I didn't think it was an interesting color at all. Which of these Disney movies was released first? Sleeping Beauty would have been the 50s? Oh! These are all, like, really early. 101 Dalmatians, I think, was also the 50s. Sword in the Stone, 50s or 60s. Jungle Book, I think, was probably 60s. Okay, good. Sleeping Beauty, I would have guessed, like, 1950. What is the name of the superpowers you can use? Ooh! Screws, lithiums, plasmids, hacks? I don't know this. I've never played Bioshock. I know a decent amount about it. Okay. What is fermented to make sake? That is rice wine in Japan. In One Piece now. Great. Oh, gosh. One Piece might be an interesting color. Okay, or maybe not. I didn't know. Which chess pieces place the corners? Those are the rooks. Pawns are in the second row, and then bishops and knights are just past the rooks, not in that order. Alright, so one anime question is stopping us from a perfect round, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna get it. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. That afternoon, Mariano went over to his girlfriend's house to watch anime. He was a bit depressed, but watching those cute girls lifted his spirit. Mariano couldn't think of depressing things. They were so cute. Oh, now he understood why her girlfriend liked it. Anime was a mistake. Yeah, that's fun. I also really liked how the witch's solution for Mario not understanding his girlfriend's passion for that anime was make Mariano seriously depressed and it'll cheer him up. Like, great, good job, I have just the answer I need. Let's go to Gloria. Gloria was exploring an ancient Maya temple. As she finished putting her foot down, the floor tile sank. "Oh, please, don't let it be a trap," she wished. Here comes the witch. Then a witch appeared before her. Lariat offered her the deal, and Gloria accepted it. Alright, we need a thief. I mean, I think, isn't Arsene Lupin just like a gentleman thief? Yeah, I didn't know the anime, but he's kind of one of the, like, examples of the archetype of a gentleman thief. Hannibal Lecter is Silence of the Lambs, portrayed by Anthony Hopkins. Great guy, Anthony Hopkins. Great guy, Hannibal Lecter, rather. Good friend of all of us. What nickname? Ooh. I mean, I feel like... No, hang on. I don't think God of War is right. Kinslayer kind of makes sense, because he needs to kill his father or something. Ghost of Sparta I could also see. Yeah, it's Ghost of Sparta. Oh well. Moana is in Polynesia, and her name is... Is it just a general... I think it's just a general Polynesian word for ocean. Yeah. And what kind of place? Ooh, hospital, hotel. I don't know where the video game appears. I think the TV show begins in the hospital, but apparently the video game starts in the car. I've been thinking about playing that on this channel, actually, but it's a kind of old one. I do like, you know, choice-based video games like that, or ones with consequences, and I think Walking Dead is one of them. But between it being a relatively old one and also being kind of aware of a couple of the plot twists, I haven't gotten around to it. Let me know in the comments if that's a game that you would want me to play, but it's not one that I have seriously thought about. Spiders are arachnids, not insects. Helsing who turned into a vampire. I would guess a vampire. Oh no. I was just thinking a vampire hunter because Van Helsing is him, so it would be cool if they turned him into a vampire and if he's the thing he hates. Mammal, mammal, not mammal, mammal, not mammal. And with whom does Ariel fall in love? That is Prince Eric. Philip is... Oh, where is Philip from? Prince Philip is from Sleeping Beauty, is it? I feel like it's Sleeping Beauty. I gotta look that up. Kristoff is, of course, Frozen. Naveen is from Princess and the Frog. I'm just checking to see. I think it's Sleeping Beauty Prince Philip is from. Yes, okay. And by the way, we had that question in Sleeping Beauty earlier. Apparently that's 1959, so the other movies must have come after that. But for now, Eric. Alright, let's see if it's a trap or not. It will not be a trap. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. Gloria brought her foot up carefully. The temple started to shake, rumbling strongly. The wall opened to reveal a secret treasure chamber. Inside the chamber, there was a golden Maya disc. She was going to be a heroine when she brought it back to the museum. Good for you. Who are we doing next? Let's go Barbara. Carl had come to pick Barbara up at her house. Prom night was finally here. It was Barbara's chance to win the best boy in school over. It was a magical night. They talked and laughed and danced, and most people kept looking at them in awe. Aww. We are the perfect couple, thought Barbara. But were they? Barbara suddenly remembered that there was an official perfect couple, the prom king and queen. She wished really hard for them to be crowned. She was making a wish, so where was that wish-granting witch? Maybe it was too crowded there. Barbara excused herself and went to the restroom, only to find Lariat already waiting for her there. She was now little for some reason, but there was no time to waste mining such details. Alright, Professor Layton. Oh, I actually have played this game. Great video game series, especially if you love, like, puzzles. They're on the Netflix show The Devil's Plan. One of the, like, overarching themes of this season is them playing the Knights Tour, which is basically a puzzle where you have to basically take a chess knight and move it so it hits every square on a chessboard only once without crossing over and hitting a square twice. So I actually was already familiar with that puzzle watching The Devil's Plan because it appeared in one of the Professor Layton games. Very hard type of puzzle, by the way. Very rewarding to figure out, gotta say. But it is Herschel Layton. Belle's horse. Ooh. I think it might be Philippe. Maurice is her dad. Gaston is the villain. I don't know Roger. Doesn't sound very French. I'm gonna go Philippe. The Wii. I was very aware of this one. I believe it was released in 2006, which is weird because I never realized the Wii came before the iPhone. The iPhone was released in 2007, so the Wii is actually older. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. A high elf named Deedlit. Well, we know my strategy. Pick the longest name. Hey, it worked. The movie Pacific Rim, that was Del Toro. Weird. I guess it kind of goes with the themes of some of his other movies, but yeah, it's definitely it feels out of character a little bit. Which video game would you find Oakvale? Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna say Earthbound, maybe? I'm not sure on this one. It doesn't sound very Final Fantasy. It's Fable. I was 50-50. Oh, what happens to the main character of the movie Old Boy? Spoilers if you haven't seen Old Boy. But I will say being kidnapped is the least of his problems. It is a very, there are very adult themes in that movie. I've never watched it myself. I hear it is very good. But definitely one of the strangest and most disturbing plot twists I've seen or rather heard that a movie has. Starred by the Anarchy Sisters. I don't know of the Anarchy Sisters, so I'm gonna pick the longest one. Longest one works again. Main character carry a baby with him. Oh, doesn't sound like something that would appear in Luigi's Mansion. I've never played Baba Is You. I've heard good things about it. I've never gotten around to it. Still Etherborn. Death Stranding. Never played I've never played any of those games, but yeah. Alright, let's see if this works out for Barbara. The stakes do not feel especially high, if I'm being very honest. Alright, does it check? It does check. Barbara, congratulations, said Lariat, and she vanished. Barbara came back just in time for the crowning ceremony. She was crowned queen and Carl was crowned king. When she thought it couldn't be any more perfect, Carl gave her a passionate kiss in front of everyone, beneath the milky twilight. Let's see here. Zelotes. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but we're gonna go for it. Zelotes had finally made his dream come true. After so many years of hard work, he was now officially an astronaut. He entered the selection process of a satellite station maintenance mission. If he was chosen, he would be able to go to space. He had done well in the physical trials, but this mission required exceptional theoretical knowledge. He closed his eyes and wished to do well on the exam. There it appeared, and you know how it goes. Oh, I want to imagine this is the exam that he's taking. Alright, so we know we picked the long one. Although Naruto, it feels baity. Love Hina, okay, not familiar with it. But I picked the long name. Quantum of Solace, was that the second Daniel Craig James Bond movie? I think it was Casino Royale, then Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die. Am I missing any? That might be all 5. Of the Daniel Craig ones, at least. What is the evil called? Biohazard? Sounds familiar. Yeah. Where does Kaguya's father find a tale of Princess Kaguya? Is this a Ghibli film? I'm not familiar with it, but I think it's a Ghibli film. Let's go with I figured it's one of the either B or D. They felt weird enough, but I didn't know. Edward Norton, I'm pretty sure it's an American History X. Yeah, I've never seen it. No Edward Norton is in it. That's about the extent of my knowledge. What letters used to represent the speed of light? That is C. That's why it is the C in E equals mc squared. Mass times energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Ooh. In which of these anime are the main characters mangakas? I don't know the answer, but I'm gonna go with the one where they put a period next to it. Yay! Look at that. Ooh. Delay in transmission. I mean, this sounds like latency or lag, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah. And Metal Gear Solid. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with the one that I always guess. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see if he passes this test or not. Again, the stakes do not feel especially high, which is good, because... Oh, nope, never mind. He is gonna pass the test. Congratulations, said Lariat, and she vanished. The day of the exam arrived. All the questions were about things he had studied. He nailed it! Good for you. Let's see. Oh! We'll continue the story of Zelotes. Zelotes was maintaining a satellite station in space when something went horribly wrong. A compartment of the satellite suddenly exploded. Everything was being sucked into space. His companion managed to grab his hand, but Zelotes knew she wasn't strong enough to save them both. In a heroic act, he sacrificed himself. No witch this time to end. Moments later, Zelotes was floating away in the void of space. He wondered if his oxygen would run out before he died of hypothermia. He wished he could get back to the satellite somehow. This feels a lot higher stakes than taking the astronaut test. Do you want a little push in that direction? Asked Lariat, appearing in a yellow spacesuit. Apparently witches can't breathe in space either. She had her helmet open, so she can breathe in space. On second thought, that sort of made sense, her being a witch and all. Zelotes really had nothing to lose from the deal. He was gonna die anyway. So I know Cylons are from Battlestar Galactica. Time Lords are from Doctor Who, Borg are from Star Trek, so I don't... Oh, and the Intergalactic Empire, I'm guessing is just the Empire of Star Wars, so yeah, Cylons. The only ones I know are in Battlestar Galactica. Movies is not based on a video game franchise. Silent Hill I know is... I'd be surprised if 28 Days Later was. From all I've heard, that was an original concept. Yeah. I don't know these other two ones, though. What is the TARDIS? Speaking of Doctor Who, it is time and relative dimension in space, I believe the thing stands for. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's something like that. But it is the thing from Doctor Who. Does Natalie Portman not appear? She is in Thor, she is in Phantom Menace, she is in Black Swan. I'm guessing they want us to confuse Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley, which actually kind of makes sense because Keira Knightley also played the, double of Natalie Portman's character in the Star Wars movies, but that is Keira Knightley. Does not describe a playable character in Final Fantasy VII. Young ninja, dark elf, flower merchant, or talking cat. I don't know this one. Let's go talking cat. It's a dark elf. Oh well. Not one of the main characters from the animated series Totally Spies. I have no idea. They're describing it as though it's not an anime though, so it feels like it's something I might need to know. I'm going to say Clover. I'm looking this up right now. But it's not going to change my answer. I've already locked into Clover. I know that's not right, but that is what I promised that I would say because I'm not cheating. I just want to make sure it's something that I am able to look up and make a flashcard of later. Secretes insulin. I'm pretty sure that's the pancreas. Character with amnesia. That is Memento. That's why kind of the story is told backwards. And finally. Not a character in Street Fighter. Ooh! I'm not familiar with any of these names. That's weird. Let's go that one. Nope. I know. I feel like I know a lot of Street Fighter characters, and I've just never heard of any of those. I guess Sea Viper makes sense because of them Bison, but I thought they were trying to confuse us. Okay, he's okay. He's gonna be safe. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she pushed him. Zelos was now floating towards the satellite. When his companion saw him, she couldn't believe it. They managed to stabilize the satellite and come back home safe. Look at that. Let's go. Where are we going next? Let's go to Nicola. Ever since Lariat had stripped before her, Nicola hadn't been able to stop thinking about her. Maybe she was in love. She still had a witch costume. Okay, so this is the one that she needed a costume for the Halloween party. And Lariat basically just got naked and said, here, take my clothes. She still had a witch costume. That made for a good excuse to see her again. She has a crush on this witch. Okay. Can I have my clothes back then? Asked Lariat, appearing out of nowhere. It was not just a costume. She was an actual witch. Let me take you out to dinner, asked Nicola. If that's your wish, you know the rules, replied Lariat. Alright, Odin's daughter. Oh. I mean, I don't know. These are not Norse names. So that goes my only kind of way in on this question. Odette is probably the trap answer. I'm gonna say it anyway. No, it's Gwendolyn. Okay, cool. Good for you. Main character skin in Megamind came out. I think it was one of those like twin movies. It came out like the same year, roughly the same year as Despicable Me. But Despicable Me has got a lot more sequels. In the anime Dragon Ball, I know in the movie, I'm pretty sure in the movie it's a wish, right? I'm going to stick with that, yeah. Main characters Mr. War Dogs, those are humans. Mr. Pink, Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Black, etc. Mabel's hair in Gravity Falls. Oh, great show! One of those like really iconic. Again, if you like puzzles, and if you're watching a channel called The Snow Nerd Plays, I think there's a decent chance you might. Gravity Falls has so many like ciphers and puzzles and lore involved. It's really cool. But her hair is brown. Who is the king of Westeros? Westeros on the whole is Robert Baratheon, and then he dies, and then there's the fight for succession. I actually remember some Game of Thrones stuff. I know everyone wanted to like erase the show from their memory after that final season aired, but I actually remember something. Okay, what's the first of the 3 wishes? Okay, so he wishes to become a prince. Then, what else does he wish for? I think he might wish for... Oh, I forget what he wished for. It is a great movie, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Diablo 2, Monk, Necromancer, Barbarian. Let's go Amazon. Okay, it's a monk. Didn't know that, don't care. Metals is magnetic at room temperature? Oh gosh. Okay. So, ferromagnetism is things like iron. So, iron is 28 back 20. So, iron is 26. Cobalt is 27. Let's go nickel. Yeah. Nickel is 28, so I think it was closest enough to say, or at least guess that it was magnetic. Be okay, I want her to get a date. Congratulations, said Lariat. I'll come back at night, she added and then disappeared. They had a delicious meal at a fancy restaurant. Oh, she doesn't have her witch stuff on. Lariat recounted amusing stories about her witch deals. When they finished, Lariat accompanied her home. Do you want to come up? Nicola offered. We can play trivia, and maybe more. Wink, wink. That's probably my ideal date right there. Come on, we can play trivia and maybe more. Like, if you wanted to seduce me, that would be how you do it. Okay. Oh, good. I did it. They had a happy ending, I assume. Where are we going next? Let's go to Umberto. Umberto was an old man with an old plane. This was going to be their last flight together, their farewell flight. But maybe in a different way than Umberto had intended. When he was at the highest point, the engine started to malfunction and smoke. If the engines didn't hold together until the landing, he was gonna crash! Suddenly, a co-pilot appeared.
Hi, I'm Lariat the Witch, she said. There's no time to explain, just play with me.
Oh, speaking of witches, ooh. I don't know. This could be on good and evil. Banjo-Kazooie, interesting. That would have been my second guess, but I didn't know. Jupiter is the biggest, followed by Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Earth, Venus, Mars, then Mercury, I believe. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know, but let's turn her into a witch. Okay, I just wanted to keep the witch content going. Sherlock Holmes, that is Moriarty. Lestrade is the, like, Inspector of Scotland Yard. Watson, of course, is the assistant. I don't know about Hopkins. I'm not familiar with Hopkins in the Sherlock Holmes stories. Tom is the cat. Jerry is a mouse. And you know you were an adult when you switch from rooting for Jerry to rooting for Tom. Makes me sad. What is the largest state? Alaska! It's an enormous state. Why does Misty start traveling? Ooh! She falls in love with him after he breaks her bike. He wants to steal his Pikachu. Interesting. I don't know this, but this feels weird. Okay, it was 50-50. Let's see. Ogres are like onions. They have layers. Cakes also have layers, but Shrek doesn't compare them to cakes. Ogres are not like cakes. Control the wind. Let's say it's an ocarina. Nope, it's a baton. I know an ocarina is kind of a, like, through line in some of those, so I figured maybe. But let's see if this works out. It doesn't look like it will. It might. Nope, not gonna work out. Sorry, you're gonna crash. Sorry, said Lariat, then she vanished. I feel like the wheel, like, intentionally went an extra spot further than it otherwise would have. I feel ripped off. The engine exploded and the plane plummeted down and engulfed in flames. Umberto didn't survive. Wah, wah. Alright, where are we going next? Viviana! Viviana's grandfather had died in a tragic plane accident a few weeks ago. In his will, he stated, oh, is Viviana's grandfather Umberto? That's weird. In his will, he stated that she would inherit his cabin in the mountains if she spent a night alone in it. What an odd condition. The place was dirty and gloomy, but that wasn't gonna stop her. Everything was going well until strange noises started coming from the second floor. It's just the wind, she muttered to herself.
Is it?
Asked Lariat, appearing out of nowhere. A witch! The cabin was haunted after all.
Relax, I'm here to help you, said Lariat. Play with me and I'll make the scary noises go away.
Viviana didn't feel like disobeying a witch. That is the golden snitch that had to be caught. The Nimbus is a broom, the Quaffle is the one that they try to shoot into the goals, and the Bludger is the one that tries to kill everybody. Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay, it's not the Keyblade, because that's from Kingdom Hearts, I know that much. Buster Sword, I feel like that's from something else as well. I might be wrong, let's go Monado. Kind of creature... Bakemonogatari. Avoid turning into. Mono means monkey in Spanish, but it's a vampire. Okay. Oh well. Didn't know that. Ooh. .rtf. This feels like it's something I should know. It's not. It's not an extension I've ever used. I'm gonna say text. Okay, good. Resident Evil 4. So Resident. I need to make sure I'm. Okay, so Resident Evil is, I don't think it's these two. Could be a biochemical weapon, could be zombie infection. I could see it being either of these two. Oh, it's the President's Daughter. Would not have guessed that. First feature-length computer animated film, I think it's Toy Story? Yeah. Pseudonym, use the secret informant, or did the secret informant use? I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing whoever made this game as a primary language of like Spanish or French or something like that, where like the verb and the subject don't come in the same order that they traditionally do in English. But anyway, that's Deep Throat, W. Mark Felt. power stars are there? That's a good question that I don't know the answer to, but my guess was right. I just figured it wouldn't be a round number. How many players does the soccer team have? The same as a football team, I believe. Or an American football team and a world football team have the same number, 11. Alright, let's see if I can make up for killing Umberto here. Okay, good. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. And with her, all the scary noises. It was just the wind after all. Dawn arrived without any more setbacks. The cabin was now legally hers. Good for you. Let's go. Who's going next? Let's go. Fatima. Fatima was now on her way to becoming a rock star. After years of hard work and persistence, she had finally managed to find herself a growing fan base. Just when everything seemed to go well for once, a tragedy announced its arrival. Her hair was becoming thinner and weaker and was starting to fall off. She knew very well that her image was the biggest part of her appeal. She would go nowhere with just her music. She needed her mane to succeed. She wished that her hair was stronger. Here comes Lariat! Then a witch with a beautiful mane appeared on the mirror. The witch offered Fatima a deal and she accepted it. Oh, Amazing World of Gumball. Again, this is an animated series that I've seen a lot of, but I don't know the answer to. Or, I haven't seen a lot of it and, like, actually seen the show. I've just seen it around. But anyways, didn't know that. Disney movie theater first. Cinderella was pretty early. I don't think any of the other ones were as early. I'm gonna say Cinderella. Yep. Not named Sakura. I feel like this is probably a trick. But the other three all have Sakura in them, so yeah, whatever. I was gonna pick the one that was. Who marries Roger? I think it's Perdita and Pongo are the dogs. I think Anita is a person? Yeah. What is the guy who countermeasure measures radioactivity? The guy's name was Hans Geiger? I'm not sure. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Extremely underwhelming and disappointing movie by Stanley Kubrick. I gotta say, like, people insist that this is like an all-time classic. It is so boring. Nothing happened for like the first 45 minutes of it. Oh my god. Like, I guess the appeal is in the visuals, but in this day and age, that doesn't hold up as well, in my opinion. Like, it's just lame. Okay, moving on. Yuri on Ice, I'm gonna, ooh. If this is golf, I'm gonna be so mad. But let's say, I don't think it's ice hockey. I'm gonna say figure skating. Yeah. The name of the island which the movie Jurassic Park developed that is Isla Nublar, and then Isla Sorna is the later movies. Who shot Mr. Burns? Did anybody figure it out? Okay, so a little bit of backstory. I know they ran a competition to, like, because it was Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1 was like the season finale or something. So basically, a lot of people got to write in their guesses with Who Shot Mr. Burns. I don't think anybody got it right, but it was Maggie Simpson. I think he tried to take candy from her because it's taking candy from a baby, and she said, not happening. Yeah, should be fine, hopefully. Congratulations, said Lariat, and then she vanished. By the next morning, Fatima could already feel it. Her hair was thick and strong, and it filled her with energy. Her next concerts were an absolute success. People adored her. Now nothing could get in her way to become a rock star. Alright, who do we got next? More Fatima, let's go! Fatima had reached the top, becoming rich and famous in the way, and then retired before wearing herself out. But with success came a life of excess, a life that ruined her. She tried to get over it and fix her life, but she ended up going back. Her husband divorced her and left taking their daughter. Fatima had to change and rebuild her life. She needed help. And Lariat offered it to her. Alright, $1 Million Baby is a boxing movie. Hilary Swank, Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman won an Oscar for it, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Was the main character one in the anime Mob Psycho 100? They could live a normal life. That's traditional. That's the standard in, you know, reluctant hero type pieces of media. Paint the terrain. I think there's a paint gun in Splatoon, so that's what I'm going with. Yep. New Hope is episode 4. I think they retroactively titled it once they titled episode 5. Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely blank. The Empire Strikes Back. Basically when they titled episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back, I think they went back and said, okay, episode 4 is now A New Hope. Oh, I know this. I've played the Talos Principle. Again, I think if you like puzzles, Talos Principle is another game you'll probably have come across. I think climbing a tower was the end of it. I forgot what happened once you did, but the last puzzle were definitely all the way up the tower. Calligrapher, Bleach, Death Note. It's not Death Note, I don't think. I'm gonna go with the long name. Nope, oh well. Silicon Valley is in Cali. Around the San Francisco area. What city? I mean, assuming it's in Gotham? Because that is where Batman lives? Yep. Just all the, Batman media, same place as the Final Fantasy game. A floating continent? Final Fantasy 4. Ah, well, that's 3. I had nothing to distinguish them. I have not played the Final Fantasy games. Let's see if this works out for us.
Congratulations,
said Lariat, and then she vanished. Fatima's taste for parties and excess suddenly disappeared. She left it all behind and rebuilt her life. A couple months later, she managed to get back with her husband and her daughter. They lived happily together. Aww, good for you, Fatima. Who do we have next? Alright, I think we're coming up on an hour, so I think we'll do 1 or 2 more people and then call in. Let's do Ava. Ava was used to being a maid. It wasn't an easy life, but she came to enjoy the household chores. Her aunt had some acquaintances from the high spheres of society. One day she received invitations to a royal ball for her and a companion. This reminded Ava of how she used to dream of being a princess. She asked her aunt to take her as a companion. I can't take you to a royal ball, her aunt replied. You don't even have a dress. Such a wasted opportunity.
If only you had a dress, said Lariat, appearing out of nowhere. Want to play a game for it?
Taking the topic, go and log in. Oh, I've at least heard of it. I don't know what the name is, so let's go that one. Okay, sure, whatever. How many countries from the United Kingdom? England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and now this song is done. Let's see here. Mainly job. Grim Fandango, what on earth? Let's say he's a security guard. Okay, travel agent. That does not sound like an interesting game. Eyes? I've watched a lot of SpongeBob. I think his eyes are blue. Yeah. It's a weird question. Which of these movies are there aliens? District 9 is an alien movie, I believe. Lakitu, or Lakitu if you prefer, is the guy in Mario Kart that lets you start your race. So I'm assuming they want to test that. What name does Cinderella give to the fat mouse? Ooh! Jacques? Is it Jacques? No, Octavius. Jacques. Octavius. Oh well, never seen Cinderella. Is a hacker. Hyperlight Drifter. I've tried to play this. I don't remember hacking in that one. It's a Watch Dogs. Okay. And farthest east state. Ohio, Midwest, Missouri and Texas kind of in the same general area. New York is the easternmost one. Keep going! Ah! Okay, good.
Congratulations,
said Lariat, and then she vanished. When Ava opened her wardrobe, she found a beautiful dress inside. She put it on and showed it to her aunt, who was impressed. And so Ava got to accompany her aunt to the royal ball. Good for you, Ava. Let's see here. Alright, we'll continue the story of Ava as long as we can continue it, and then we will wrap it up. Ava was enjoying the royal ball when she noticed a familiar face. It was the princess. Eva had seen her on some magazine covers. She was going through the hall greeting her guests. What if she saw Eva and decided to greet her? That would be a dream come true.
A dream come true, you say? Asked Lariat, even though Eva hadn't actually said anything. Dance with me.
Oh. Is that yellow? I might be mixing up my franchises, but yeah, it's yellow. Ooh! The pupil, the iris, how much light energy eyeball. This is an interesting one. I think 20 is for protection. I think it's the pupil, right? Because when they dilate your pupil, like they dilated my pupils to get, so I could get LASIK surgery. And there was a lot of like weird stuff with light around that time, so yeah, there we go. The main character is Ninja. Bleach, Draco, One Piece, that one. Oh, it is Naruto. Interesting. I don't remember that at all. Pursued by a rebel fleet. FTL faster than light. Global space program. Okay. Blind guess. Got it right. Yay me. Nexus 6. Android model. Interesting. I know a couple of these have androids. Oh my gosh. This is a tough one, actually. I don't think it's Terminator. In Blade Runner, they're called replicants. So the question is, I feel like I've seen iRobot. It was a while ago. Okay, no, that's bad then. I mean, I haven't seen... Admittedly, Blade Runner, I saw like the first 20 or 25 minutes and was bored, so I turned it off. But they're called replicants, so unless there's something else going on, that's a bad question. In what fictional place is Aria the animation set in? Let's go Neo Venezia, because Aria gave me opera vibes, which gave me Italy. Third profession in Seinfeld is a comedian. Would not want to be a high school teacher, I can tell you that much, because comedy does not go over well with it. The first James Bond movie starring Sean Connery was Dr. No. And finally, Dharma Initiative is the thing in Lost. Alright, let's see if this works out for us. Come on, Ava. Oh, come on. That's dumb. Sorry, said Larry, just as Ava bumped into someone. It was the princess, and Ava made her spill her drink. My dress is ruined, the princess complained. A waiter politely asked Ava to leave the bar. Ava felt so bad she couldn't go to a social event ever again. Oh well. What a way to end. So yeah. I think there are a few stories left. I'm honestly surprised by like how many stories there have been. So we might be able to do like an episode or two more of this. Feel a little bit ripped off by that last one because that was like the best odds that we have had in our 2 episodes so far that did not lead to a success. And I'm like, come on, that's nonsense. That is crap. But anyway, that is why we kind of make sure there are anime questions in there so that there's a little bit of interesting, there's some interesting change up because if I got every question right every single time, it would not be entertaining to see the wheel because there wouldn't really be a wheel. So anyway, might play some more of this at a later point. We will see about that. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. If you tuned in to see me wrap up Me-Side or LARIAT, you can look forward to those coming very soon. I just wanted to kind of change it up, make sure that there's something kind of separating the episodes of those. But should hopefully come very soon. If you have any comments or thoughts about the trivia or any of the fun facts I presented or any games you want me to play, as always, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to, kind of check out what people are saying, what people are thinking. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends and enemies. Just want to make sure that people are staying involved, staying engaged. Most importantly, as always, that you are staying cool. I will see y'all next time, but for now, farewell!